Hello, this is Andrew Swift, and I'm going to show you very quickly how to make Neuron in ZBrush. And what I use is the snake. Let's see here, snake blah blah blah, snake sphere. And I'll skip this note, and I'll turn on Sculptress Pro, and make a nice big brush. And all I'm make Polymesh 3D. There we go. All right, so this is what I would do. And let's see here. Let's get this. So we're working on it. If we needed symmetry, just basically so we start out on the right thing. So I straighten this guy up. So now we're working. If we turn on the floor plane, it's right down there. We're working straight down the Z. Okay. And I'm going to make this thing come up like this. And I'm going to make one of these come out like this. And this is just the gross form. And you can do whatever you want here. So let's see here, straighten that up a little bit, and then something like that. Under geometry, I'll go to Dynamesh and say Dynamesh. Actually, let's make that a little lower. Q. Sometimes Dynamesh won't work unless you. So what I want is to start seeing some of the geometry there. And there's a couple of reasons for that, and not the least of which is that it will react better to the smooth brushes and the inflate brushes and things like that. So I'll make this a little smaller, and then I can Dynamesh. You can see what it did there is it went from this sort of polygonal density to, and then when I Dynamesh it, it makes it all more even. And again, that has to do with smoothing and how the brushes react. All I'm doing here is I'm just tapering these down a little bit. I'll move some of this, move some of that. And let's see here, let's do 2, just to give it a little bit of life. And then once you have this modeled basically the way you want it, I'll Dynamesh it one more time. Oh, I guess I'll do this all right. Let's do this. And then what you'll do is, once you have all your basic projections on there at more or less the correct size, and you can thin these later on if you want them thinner, but and I'll show you why it'll make better sense later. So turn off Dynamesh, go to ZRemesher, hit ZRemesher, and this is where you choose the actual polygonal density that you want. And that's probably still a little high, because most of the stuff that we do we want for real-time rendering. So I just turned on half, turned off adapt. The shape here is not really that important. It doesn't have to really adapt to a given shape. Now if you turn off Sculptress Pro and you go to smooth it, watch what happens. Now it'll smooth, because you have good edge loops, it will smooth better. It'll smooth more evenly. So don't do too much of the smoothing in the Dynamesh phase. Wait and do it here, because it'll just work better. Okay? And that's basically it. And then with this, you could subdivide this and then sculpt on it, and it should go right into Cinema 4D the way you want. I think that's it. So that's how I would make this for real-time rendering. And again, you could keep making this smaller and smaller, and the edge loops will hold up. So that went from 3,000 to 2,000 polygons, and that looks pretty good. You could then subdivide this and sculpt on it however you want. I would go ahead and I'll show you this as well. So what I did was I went through and made at one point a dendritic spine brush. And what that does is that loads up all the, you can look this up online, or I can show you how to do it. And basically what it allows you to do is you could create this as now a nanomesh brush. Create nanomesh brush. Then when you click and drag, it will come out of that particular polygon, right? Well, rather than having it come out of that polygon, and it is a nanomesh brush, you could say come out of all polygons, or you could make that a polygroup, and then say polygroup island, polygroup all, And now when you drag it out, it'll come out of all of these. And we don't really want that. Of course, we want, bear with me, nano mesh. And then what you're going to do is you're going to say fill. No, it's not. Fit, prop. And then you're going to say random distribution. And it's going to, you can add and subtract these however you like. Okay? And then you can change the size. And you can actually change the, you can change these things by quite a bit. So you could do 29, 29, and 29. And they will all be different sizes, right? And then you could do this. So then you would say freeze placement. Then you would get another one and you do the same thing. You do this one, you do fill, random distribution. You change the, right? You change these things. And you can change this so that you have fewer and more of them and blah, blah, blah. Maybe make these bigger. Maybe have fewer of them. And then when you have these all exactly as you want them, you could go through and do, if you want to make them actual geometry, you go to an inventory and say, oh, one to mesh. Okay? And I think that's probably enough for a single video. Let me know if there's anything else I can help you with, and we'll go from there. Hope you're doing well.